gentlemen, welcome to another One Piece chapter review. This week we're reviewing chapter 1089, Under Siege. I'm your host, Mr. Lyn and Burton, joined by our other host, Mr. Jaz. Jaz, how you doing, brother?
Man, I am doing great this week.
Yes,
still kind of lagging behind from the convention, my job on BS, but the future's looking hopeful. That's all I can say.
Hell yeah. Also, just want to say thank you so much to everyone who came out to our panels, whether it was the master and student panel or the One Piece panel. If you're joining us from DreamCon, welcome to the family. We truly appreciate having you here. Also, want to show to longtime fans. So y'all know we got Luffy Gear 4 in the studio. We know we got Gear 4. We know we got I'm gonna pick him up. We know we got Sanji on his raid 2 shit.
Mm-hmm.
We know we got Luffy normally chilling in the back. This nigga always not cooperative. Then we got Sabo, of course, Big Sab. Of course, we got Law right here. Boom, chilling, causing a mess. All right. Let me pick Sabo up. His head fell. Y'all see Fraudulent Kid, which in something we releasing later this week, Fraud Court. People might be talking about that. We got Fraudulent Kid, of course, but joining the crew, let me pick Luffy up, just from One Piece. It's about time. Y'all know how I feel about the god. I didn't even take him out the package. That's how real he is. My boy Shanks, nigga. We got the best pirate out there, Shanks, nigga. The best pirate in the 7 seas. The god himself. Shanks.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, your boy got a little.
Then we got Spike Speed.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was fighting. He was fighting for the
No. All right, look. Shout out to the homie if he listens to this that wanted that Spike Spiegel figure. I'm sorry, bro. Legitimately, I told my friend Krissa, he was right ahead of me. I was like, I'm gonna come back for this. But then I heard in the back of my ear, you say, if this nigga don't get this, I'm taking it right now. If you heard somebody say that, it's like, I can't come back and get it. I gotta get it right now.
That's literally the figure equivalent to I bet you won't. I bet you ain't about it.
And then when I got it, Krista said he heard him say, motherfucker, every time I go for a Spike figure, someone takes it. I felt so bad for that guy, bro. But
he should have thought that in his head. he probably would have got the figure.
He definitely would have got it. If he wouldn't have said that out loud, he 100% would have got it. But hey, at least he got Jet, but he didn't buy Jet. He was so mad because I went the next day, Jet was there. I was like, damn, you could have bought Jet.
Damn, he don't like Jet? I mean, I like Jet.
I fuck with Jet. If Jet wasn't $69, I'd have bought him. But I wasn't.
No, Jet being $69 is kind of egregious.
It's crazy. Like the fact that I spent $69 for this Spike is absurd, but like it's very well done. And Spike's like, that's from one of my top 3 anime: One Piece, Cowboy Bebop, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, in no particular order. And I have.
I can't find Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood figures at any con.
They had them at the last one we went to, but it just wasn't. They didn't have quality ones. It was like the Shanks one I got is a Japanese action figure thing, so that's why I bought it. I thought it was American, but it's really detailed. The Full Metal Alchemist was from American companies, and they treated it like a kid's toy. So like, I didn't want to buy it. It wasn't statue. It was whack. So
understandable.
I know you bought some figures. If you want to show, I know you got some new ones in the cut.
I'm gonna wait to show my boy on the bookshelf because I really just don't feel like walking there. Mm-hmm. But like, you know what I'm saying? We got our boy Sabo if he was in Wano. I thought this one.
That's hard.
They also had the Ace one, but I mean, it's not even because I don't like Ace. It's just like I just, you know what I'm saying? I just did not have the funds.
Yeah, no, I
did not have the funds.
Saying that what I'm saying about Jet, nigga, I feel that. But fuck that donut ass nigga. That's one figure I'm never buying. Fuck that nigga Ace. Hey, the one thing though I will say, last thing about DreamCon, they had the Roger, and again, like you said, if I had the funds, that nigga was like $150. They had Roger swinging at Whitebeard. They were doing Conqueror's hockey. That shit was crazy. Because I know at first I told you it was 30. I went back and looked. No, it was 150. He had the wrong price on there.
That's
I was like, that's
crazy.
misleading. Like 30, me or my friend was gonna buy this, and then you would have told us 150. We'd have been pissed off.
Crazy.
Nuts. But DreamCon was a blast. I don't care what nobody says. I know there's been like a lot of whatchamacallit, hullabaloo of people upset. Look, as someone who goes in for free, I ain't upset. I loved it.
And look, if you want our thoughts on that situation, listen to the Bros Who Think podcast.
Oh, real? You gonna okay? Bet, yeah, we gonna chat about it there. Fuck yeah.
Yep.
Good promotion, Jazz.
I feel like that's more of like a general issue rather than like just a manga issue.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Good. Hey, that's why this nigga is moving up in the ranks. This nigga killing shit, boy. But all right, let's get it. Jazz and I are here to review chapter 1089. As y'all know, if you don't know, if you're new, this is how it works. We give a brief summary of what happens, and then we dive in to specific moments. Also, be sure to check out, if you like Black Clover, we're going to have a Black Clover chapter review and My Hero, because it's a big week for My Hero. So check all of that out. But this chapter starts off with going around the world. We basically see Fuchsia Village and Shank's baby mama. We also see the Don and all of them reading about Garp and Luffy right now. We then cut to other places that they've been to, and we see that the world's geography and basically the weather of the world is going fucking insane from the East Blue, the South Blue, the North Blue, and the West Blue due to Lulusia being destroyed. And we also see where Lulusia was, it's a big hole with water coming into it, similar to Eni's lobby, which I think has a video on its own we need to discuss. We then see Laboon, we see the people of we see the people of Water 7. We see Momo in Wano. We see pretty much everybody. Then we cut to the Kamabaka Kingdom. We cut to these other kingdoms where the water level has risen and some of these places are getting flooded. We then cut to Egghead, where Marines have gathered, all the vice admirals, basically Kizaru, and then 9 Navy vice admirals, Kizaru, and then J. St. Garcia. They're all gathered. They started to fight some of Vegapunk's machinery, but basically they're getting ready for the attack on Egghead. We then cut to I forget her name, but one of the Stellas who calls into the Gorosei. We then find out that she built the thing that destroyed Lulusia, and they're basically like, hey, if you want, can you build more mother fires? And she's like, yeah, well, for that to happen, you'll have to turn me to a Gorosei. And they basically say done on the spot. And right before she finishes, just promise you won't lay a hand on my laboratory, but I need one thing. Save me from Luffy, because all the Straw Hats have her pinned down, Zoro with the blade to her neck, Usopp with the phone to her. Nami says, I see what's going on. They're all gathered, and they're basically like, oh, we're gonna have to use her to get us out of this blockade. And the chapter ends break next week. Jazz, I think this is the one time we gotta start in the beginning, because I think the shit going on around the world in Lulusia being, Eni's lobby, I think that's so interesting.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so geography is everything. Shout out to my man Tekken.
Yeah, facts. So, one of the only anime YouTubers I fuck with. Tekken's the man.
I love Tekken. But so a meter, those who like, I know we're all in America, but it's like a meter is pretty much like a little more than like a yardstick. I'd say 4 to 5 inches more than a yardstick. And like in the grand scheme of things, that doesn't seem like a lot, but sea level wise, that is absolutely crazy, especially like it seems like what the Gorosei and Im want is like a cleansing of just like pretty much in general. The way to do it would be with flooding. You know what I'm saying? Especially like if most of their threats are devil fruit users, the way that you get rid of them is by sending a massive flood. They don't have to worry about that, because Mary Joie, even though in this chapter we saw like the celestial dragons feel the earthquake, Mary Joie is so high up
on that red line,
they're not going to get affected by the flood.
Do you think that that's why every time we talk about the red line, everyone says it's unnatural. Do we think they built that because of the shit they knew they were going to do to like Eni's lobby and destroying some of these things, and it's affecting the geography to where it put them at the highest point to where flooding doesn't happen? I honestly think Eni's lobby is the location of where God Valley was now.
Yeah, it either I'm on the fence about that. I think it was either God Valley, or I think it was a symbol of I think it was a symbol of the ancient kingdom. I'm not sure which
Mm.
one, but like it would make sense that like the world government would be like, okay, well, we took out what you had because we turned one of the ancient weapons against you. Because it makes me think of I don't know if you ever played Legend of Zelda, but the Breath of the Wild, but it's like they have these 4 divine beasts. And like the reason why the champions failed against Ganon, the big evil, is because those giant beasts in this context, the ancient weapons turned on the champions. You feel me? So it might be a sense of that, and then the world government putting in its lobby right there
could be the headquarters of where the D's were. Honestly, to add to the point that you're saying, could be their home, like their home base, and they're like, as a symbol of our dominance, we're gonna turn this your old homeland into our new like strongest facility, the place where no one can escape. You don't escape in his lobby. Don't they have the doors of judgment as well? Like some weird, like just this is our symbol of, hey, we took over. It's either that, which you're saying, or it's God Valley, one of the two. So, which I hope we figure out at some point. Also, I do think it's very, very interesting of everyone's reaction to Garp leaving, Garp being missing. I think that the fact that they published that is very interesting. Like, wouldn't you think the Navy would want that like covered up?
You think that they would, but you also have to remember it's Morgan's running the paper.
True.
Not like the world government. The world government would not publish that.
Yeah, like I don't think they would want that out there because it makes them look weak.
Yeah, it does. And especially like with all the stuff happening with Luffy, like 2Ds, one like the good one loses, and then the quote unquote bad one is like, you know, succeeding. So it's like, you know, it's very detrimental to them. So Morgan's is definitely spinning a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what happens because of Lulusia with this climate and what Eam decides to do next, because the whole purpose of I forget the Stella's name, but the whole purpose of her staying alive is to make more Mother Fires. I'm wondering if the Mother Fire is based on Uranus because they don't have it. Maybe Uranus was, to your point, which weapon that the D's had, the government's used to destroy them, and then Uranus, they might have lost it, and maybe it's out there somewhere, and the Mother Fire is, you know, how they recreate Uranus to the best of the abilities, because we know Pluton had something that you could make something that could destroy Pluton, the blueprints to another weapon. I'm assuming Uranus is a weapon, not necessarily the Shirahoshi model of being a person, per se.
Right, yeah. I'm definitely curious to see, because I know they said that Pluton is capable of like annihilating islands.
True.
But you like Uranus like seems like it's more
from the sky,
aerial.
You know? Yeah.
And like that seems like it would do like way more damage to where like, you know, there could be a massive crater somewhere in the world, like in its lobby, like Lulusia now. So, but also they say like York says it's like a fusion reactor.
That's
kind
her
of
name.
Yeah. York says like it's kind of like a fusion reactor. So it's
you
like,
think their version of a nuke?
Oh, Vegapunk was
seeing Oppenheimer.
Probably, probably that kind of gives more credence to why Dragon was like, yeah, Vegapunk wouldn't create something like this. I mean, he technically did, but it wasn't like Stella Vegapunk. You feel me?
It wasn't him. Yeah. Facts.
Yeah. So
anything else from the beginning you want to touch before we get to these bitch ass Marines?
It's always good to see when things like this, especially considering that the context was Lulusia got nuked 6 days ago, pretty much. It's good to see like how transformative this like is changing the world, to where like not only do we see parts of the world that we know exist, but we also see like people. I think the most important part of this whole section was seeing Iceberg and how Iceberg was building that floating device for Water 7. So I feel like Iceberg will definitely come, and you know, maybe this is a theory, maybe this isn't, but I feel like Iceberg will definitely come in handy if this turns out to be a problem, because of what was aforementioned at the end of Water 7 and him
how it's
building
built
that
on
device.
Top.
That device is gonna save a lot of people.
Facts. No, I agree with you. And the fact that Water 7's a city built on top of a city, and you see Wano's basically the same thing. So that tells me, like, if Wano has an underwater city, Water 7's built on top of each other, that tells me that whatever Ancient Weapon was the OG blueprint for this, because it could still be Pluton. Whichever one, they've felt this before from an Ancient Weapon, and we've seen how places have had to adjust. Also, I think it's interesting that we see LeBron at the red line, and he's like screaming because he knows some more geographical shit has happened. And look, man, that red line has to come down. It's not natural. And I think every time I see Laboon, I think of that shit.
Hey, can't wait till Luffy Bosron Gatlings the red line out of existence.
Or if there's a fucking button at wherever the One Piece is, and you press the button and it explodes or something. I've been thinking that forever. It's something.
that would be some Oda stuff. He seems like he's going more the cartoon goofy route. So I mean that could very much well be a do not press type of situation.
And look, and it's like that's what Rayleigh and Roger were like, yeah. We couldn't press it, or we couldn't do it at the time. Y'all have to press it. Y'all might come to a different decision than us. And I definitely think this is how they're setting up whatever that is, the decision that they have to make. I definitely think they're setting that up. Yeah. But we see the blockade. Your girl doll is back.
10 out of 10 chapter, just to her. Oda still be putting her in still frames. I need her to do something. I need her dialogue, something. Come on,
look,
dog.
You want to see her get her ass whooped? Because she about to get whooped in a little bit.
Look, if she get by Robin, I'm okay with that.
Okay, but also, why do you feel how everyone's like, oh, the Straw Hats, half of them are gonna lose, half of them are gonna win. We're making Sabaody Part 2. I don't buy that,
Bro, I don't buy that because they already had it.
Yes.
They already had, bro. The thing is,
that would be redundant.
This is the last thing I'm gonna say, because like people really be getting me tight with that take. It's like, first of all, there are two things, right? You can't be mad because Kid and Law are having their Sabaody right now. They need to get stronger, even though Law is really strong, right? It's like the Straw Hats had to have Sabaody for them to for it to be a wake up call. Law and Kid just took down an Emperor, and while Law's like a little more calm-headed, Law needed to take an L. You feel me? He's been with the Straw Hats too much.
They think everything is sweet.
Right. And then my second thing is, why have every other Yonko be in this race for Laugh Tale and then completely say, nah, we're going to give the Straw Hats an L as they're on the way? Like, that doesn't make sense. We're way too close. We're way too close to them obtaining the treasure for them to take a massive setback. You feel me?
I agree.
And I understand people want stakes, but it's like, at this point, like when they return to Sabaody, like every single player that Luffy said, we're not going to lose to those guys again, is on this island or on the way to this island, right? That's all I'm saying. I'm reading it, you know what I'm saying, just from like cohesive storyboarding. I don't know what the rest of these people reading, but I'm not going to shame them for having their opinion. That's all
no, for sure. I'm going to say this, though, as well. I think it's very interesting. We didn't see Sabo or Dragon at Kamabaka. We just saw Ivankov. Now, I have two theories. The OG theory is that Dragon and Sabo, or one of them, appears at Egghead. If not, the Grand Fleet is coming. Someone is coming, whether it's the Grand Fleet or if it's the Revolutionaries. Someone is coming to help fight this, because as good as the Straw Hats are, I don't know if they're beating 9 Vice Admirals, Kizaru and J. St. Garcia, because I don't know if we can't assume that fucking Lucci's gonna fight with them. Like, Lucci just a prisoner right now. Like, so that's
Lucci kind of like has no choice.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
so
saying?
like they may have this, and then honestly, the Seraphim will be able to get controlled by J. St. Garcia, because isn't he over Vegapunk in terms of people who? So boom, the Seraphim go. So let's just count it out. There's 9 Vice Admirals, Kizaru 10, J. St. Garcia 11, the 4 Seraphim 15, Cypher Pole ages 0 17, because I'm not gonna count Stussy, versus the 10 Straw Hats and the fucking 6 or 5 Vegapunks. So 15 versus however much we just said for the other side.
Right. And like, I mean, you could make the argument that Vegapunk has all the technology, but it's like, I mean, I'm pretty sure 30,000 people can, especially like if one of those is like a Logia Admiral, and we don't know what the Gorse, like we don't know what St. J. Garcia is.
And,
like,
and we you talked about this off thing. I'm gonna say it now. Look, dude's gonna be a minotaur. Like it's coming. He's gonna be some
Yeah,
form of bull minotaur creature.
I'm excited to see how he fights, if we see him fight this
You
in this you know what I'm saying? But it's definitely gonna be interesting. I mean, to be honest, it'd be crazy if Revolutionaries and Grand Fleet pull up.
That would be
because
insane.
to save Luffy and then Dragon to save Vegapunk.
Yeah, and then honestly, maybe it's not time for Luffy to beat a Celestial, to beat a Gorosei. Maybe this is you show the feats of Dragon, and Dragon takes out Jay St. Garcia, and we see that. And we see Luffy fight Kizaru. Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji take out Kizaru to get their get back from Sabaody. Like, what if Kizaru is the Straw Hat's target, but Dragon comes and takes out Jay St. Garcia? I've been saying that from the jump.
It would be a really good time, especially since Garp is out of the picture. It would be good to have like another Monkey D step up,
exactly,
because we've seen everything from Garp. Now it's time to see the other Monkey D and see him turn the tides by directly confronting a Gorosei member and being like, nah, it's war now. Basically,
we're declaring war. It's real, and I just think before you've shown Dragon, you've shown Sabo. Anytime you've shown Kamabaka, anytime we flashed away, and the one time we flashed to their headquarters, we see Ivankov and not them. Like, I think that's interesting. I don't think Oda does anything without by design. Also, I don't like that. I think Kuma's somewhere. We didn't see Kuma either. I don't know if he's coming here, where he's going, but he may be involved in this somehow. We didn't get his backstory, which I hope wasn't off screened, and I hope we get that at some point. Like, weird,
right? Because Bonnie seems fine.
She seems content now. Like everything's okay.
Yeah. She looks like yeah, I've had time and I've coped with it. But I mean, then again, we could always get a flashback of what happened in probably like the next few chapters. So I'm waiting.
Yeah, no,
But if we leave Egghead without getting Kuma's backstory, I might have to make some calls.
Yeah, that's gonna be a little sus. I guess the other thing. Oh, Kizaru's a chump. We find out his justice is just bitch made Uncle Tom justice right there, boy. Whatever people tell him, that's what he do.
It makes me so sad because the little panel of him flashback with Sentomaru and him like doing the little light show. It's like, oh, that's such like a wholesome moment. But then it's like you come in here to kill him, man.
And Sentomaru's crying. He's like, I can't believe you were gonna kill me. You basically my dad.
That's crazy. But it's like, okay, here's my thing, right? Kizaru, even though I didn't slander him on Twitter, it was more so me slandering his fans because that after this chapter, I don't ever want to see Kizaru having conquerors ever again.
Yeah, but and look, if Kizaru, the same reasons why you said Kizaru can't have conquerors is why I feel Kobe can't have conquerors.
Whoa, let's not get crazy.
No, let me. I'm gonna just say.
What kingly
ambition? What kingly ambition has that fraud shown? Zero. But Kizaru more so than what you saying. I do agree. Kizaru more so than Kobe because that's just direct.
Because Kizaru just be following orders.
Dude is a sub. He's a fucking submissive kink ass nigga, bro. Like that nigga is like, oh yeah, whatever you want me to do, I will do. Step on me,
It's crazy
please.
because like he doesn't. It's crazy because like sometimes he is probably like the most deadly admiral. Sometimes I think like if you get serious, he'd probably be a lot more dangerous than Akainu. But it's just the fact that like he just doesn't care. Like he's more so just like, yeah, I'm gonna just do what they tell me to do because like I literally have because it feels like he's saying this as if like he's bored, like he has nothing else to do, and they keep. I'm not asking for admiral feats right now, but it's like they keep shelving admirals, and I feel like Kizaru is one that like, because like we see Kuzan first, right, and Kuzan's strong in his own right, but he's not outright like vicious, right?
Yep.
But then like Kizaru starts playing with people, like he basically starts trolling people, and to be honest, I'm like. That's like a much more dangerous person than Akainu because it's like at least with Akainu you're heading into a confrontation. With Kizaru, you literally do not know what person you are going to fight. You don't know if you're gonna fight a nonchalant Kizaru. You don't know if you're gonna fight a serious Kizaru. You don't know if you're gonna you don't know what's gonna happen because he might move too fast for you to even know.
And that's why he should be stronger because it's like dude has an OP fruit and we've never seen him take it seriously, but maybe that's just who he is. He can't take nothing seriously, and maybe that's his downfall.
That's crazy. But I definitely think Oda's shelving him for a reason. Even he says, like, when he destroys one of the sea beasts, he's like, well, we can't go all out because there's stuff on Egghead we need. So like I can't fight to the fullest of my extent, which makes me more happy, like, or more excited, like, for the war, because the war needs, okay, let me say this. Like, if the war is on Mary Joa, I need the Gorosei to give the admirals full, like, range to just wild out.
That shit gotta be taken down. It's just the whole building gotta explode.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna have Kizaru's definitely awakened Logia. I don't care. Like, he's had that fruit for way too long.
Yeah, he's gotta be. It's just like Aokiji and Akainu are. He's gotta be. Now, I don't think Twerk Bull is. Shout out to Dr. Voodoo. I give him credit every time I say that. Twerk Bull, man. Look, that nigga nice shit.
Twerk Bull might be the greatest. It might be the greatest name I've ever seen a character given.
It's hilarious, but yeah, and then the chapter ends with a spread. We see Zoro with the knife to him, and Luffy's like, guess we're gonna have to use you to get out of here. And she was like, no. Look, who knows where we go from here, but that's pretty much all from the chapter. Anything else you got? Like, I don't even know where we go next post-break, because it's like, are we leaving Egghead again? I don't think we are. We should.
Yeah, like, are we going back in time to see what happened? Or are we going just straight forward with the war? Like, what? Like, it's kind of like a plethora of places it can go right now. But I love this double parade spread of the Straw Hats, man. It's like, it's pretty much like what I think it is like the calm before the storm. Everybody's like eating, and like everybody's kind of like calm, but oh, it's about to hit the fan. Also, I love my little silhouette, like, not silhouette, but I love Usopp putting up the, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, Usopp, you doing your thing right now, like, you know. And also, look at our goat Sanji unscathed.
Yeah,
he handled S Shark with no problem. With no problem.
Unscathed, just making food for niggas, chilling. You love to see.
And you know, somebody brought up a good point in a video I watched earlier, and they basically said, so you know how like King's whole thing is that like when he turns off his flames, like, right, he's vulnerable to attacks. So I'm like, that's interesting, because he said that maybe the way that Sanji beat S Shark is because he was too fast. So the shark, like, so S Shark had to turn off his flames to match Sanji's speed.
Ooh.
And I was like, you know what's crazy? I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, I never did either. Because of Sanji's speed, it makes it to where they can't have that flame on to try to move. Yeah, that's a good point. So he might be the perfect person to fight the Seraphim.
Plus, he doesn't really get hurt by it.
What if Sanji beats Seraphim Mihawk? How crazy would the fandom be that week? Because that might be possible.
You might see slurs thrown around by certain green-haired PFPs. I'm not gonna say which slurs, but it's gonna be a lot of them thrown around. I'm just gonna say that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say much more.
And that's pretty much everything we got for this review. Jazz, tell the people where they can follow you on social media.
You can follow me on Instagram, Jazzy Boy. You can follow me on Twitter, Real Jazz, or I guess X, whatever. But you can follow me on Twitter, Real Jazzy Boy. You can follow me on TikTok, Cornell D. God. Good stuff coming on the way, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Follow me at lynbwt. Follow BrosWhoThink at BrosWhoThink. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, because like Jazz said, we got a lot of good shit coming. If you're a Black Clover fan, make sure you check out that review. The My Hero review will come a little bit later. And until next time, y'all have a good one, and peace.